Du jour? No. Topic of every day for the rest of our lifetime. Odell Beckham.
Yeah!
What is happening? What did he do in his time in Dallas?
Well, Jamie, Odell Beckham Jr. is in Dallas for his highly anticipated visit with the Cowboys, which is a fact that was difficult to miss if you were on social media. He was in the Dallas building yesterday going through the medical phase, which, of course, is really important for Odell coming off of that torn ACL. Last night, he was at the Dallas Mavericks game, sitting courtside with Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons. The paparazzi was out today. Odell will be back in the building, actually talking about football stuff, meeting with coaches and others. There is that medical piece, also a financial piece with getting a deal done with Odell Beckham Jr. We will see if it comes together for the Cowboys after what seems like months of recruitment. He has also visited the Giants and the Bills as that decision gets near. Meanwhile, Beckham's former Browns teammate Baker Mayfield released by the Carolina Panthers on Monday after Sam Darnold and P.J. Walker had moved forward as the top two quarterbacks on Carolina's depth chart. Carolina wanted to do right by Mayfield, who had been a good teammate with the Panthers. Now he will find out where he's headed this afternoon on waivers. 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan downplayed the possibility that Mayfield potentially could be headed to San Francisco after Jimmy Garoppolo's injury, saying that Shanahan has always been a Mayfield fan, but I like where we're at right now with rookie 7th-round pick, Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, and newly signed Josh Johnson on the depth chart. It might all be a moot point because the 49ers are currently 24th on the waiver priority list. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson, the Ravens quarterback, unlikely to play this week against the Steelers, according to Coach John Harbaugh, who referred to Lamar as week to week because of that knee injury that he suffered last weekend. Harbaugh said it's not impossible that Jackson could play against Pittsburgh, but it'll be much more likely after this week and in the weeks to come. For now, Snoop Huntley in line to get the start in a big game for the Ravens against the Steelers. Jamie?
Absolutely. And in terms of the Baker Mayfield fodder, of course, there could be some divisional waiver wire games that could be played. We will see when it comes to the quarterback coming out of Carolina. Tom Pelissero, thank you very much. It's Tuesday, December 6th. I'm Jamie Erdahl. It's Kyle Brandt. Peter Schrager, and a Super Bowl champion to my left. Jason McCourty, a Super Bowl champion who knows all too well the kinds of magic Tom Brady can pull off on a Monday night football game. I'm
a Brady believer through and through. My only Super Bowl, my only successful season, Tom Brady was at the helm.
Don't limit it to just that. It's not just about the rings.
It is.
It's a lot about the rings.
A lot about the rings. It is.
That was unbelievable.
It really was. We start today with the lead block and Saints Buccaneers, my friends. Should we get to it?
Let's do it.
Should we go down to the fine state of Florida? I got to say right off the bat, I think the best part of this game was Joe Buck. Joe Buck was on fire last night, and I think it's late in the season. We can kind of relate. You get a little slap happy. Joe was great. 7-3 Saints. Intercepted Demario Davis. You know Tom Brady's only thrown 3 interceptions this season? Only 3. That is the 3rd pick he has thrown the entire year. And as Joe Buck pointed out, he's 45 years old. Last year he was 44. It's crazy. Brady can't believe it. He is 45. We looked that up. All right, so this game was sluggish as hell. They're down 16-3 with 3 minutes left. And who is that?
Hit Otten!
The touch, the feel of Otten. 16-10, the Saints. Now on a 3rd and 17, Andy Dalton makes a beautiful throw to Taysom, who cannot pull it in. Dalton can't believe it was best throw of the night. And Taysom Hill, your do-everything guy, drops it. So here we go. Tom Brady. That kid's got a muscle shirt on and a goat sign. You're down 6 with 2 minutes left on a 2nd and 5. Just working it over the middle, move the chains. 3rd and 6, gotta have it. Field goal, not enough. Move the chains. Is that Scotty? What's up, Scooter? Move the chains.
Mike Evans tapped out. Scotty Miller comes in, gets that big
That's exactly right. And if you think that's an unlikely hero, just wait. There's Julio, number 6, making a play. Now they get a touchdown to Godwin. That's the game winner, but it gets called back for holding. So they got to do this thing again. 8 seconds. Who do you go to? Naturally, Rachaad White. Touchdown, Bucks. In near walk-off fashion, they tie the game at 16. They get the point after. He got matched up with Demario Davis and lost him in coverage. They score. It's over. Rachaad White, James White, Vanna White, doesn't matter. All the same to me. James White actually tweeted, Rachaad White, I like your game. We might be related. 17-16, the Bucks win to get to 500 in a game that was very ugly, very slow, and then got really crazy in the last few minutes afterwards. Tom Brady was asked about it. That game-winning TD, how'd you like that one, TB?
Just like we drew it up. Just like we drew it up. Tom, can you talk about that last play to Rashad? Were you trying to get him in for that particular play? What did you see on that matchup?
Yeah, it was great. Great route by Rashad. Great catch. Barrett made a great call. So it was, we thought we threw the touchdown. I didn't see the one we hit to Chris, and then I thought I threw it in about a quarter of a second. I was like, I told her, how's there a hole? I caught it and threw it. And they put us back on, I think, the 15, and then still found a way. So it was a, great team win.
I'm loving these prepared answers that Brady has when he arrives at the press conference. Let's take a look at the NFC playoff picture. Week 13 is in the books. The Bucs are back at 500, still atop the NFC South. Okay, and they have the 4 seed. They'll take on the 3-seeded 49ers next week. And the Eagles and Vikings still look great atop their respective divisions and the NFC. Last night, guys, though, if you went to bed, it was 16-3, and you just really thought, man, Tom Brady, how could this be happening? Yeah. He hasn't played terribly, but he just can't win a game. And then the fourth quarter comeback happens. What'd you make of that game for the Bucs last night, Peter?
I'm torn this morning because I watched the entire thing. I'm from bleary-eyed. I was up the entire night watching this thing, and I'm torn because is it a miraculous Bucs win or is it a historic, colossal Saints loss? Saints were horrendous in so many ways down the stretch. Play calling, decision making, strangely running out of bounds on a 2nd and 8 to give them a 3rd and 1, throwing on 3rd and 1, but then punting on 4th and 1. Jason's going to get into a little bit of that stuff. Let's give Brady his due, because not a lot of quarterbacks can do what he's done. And in back-to-back games at Raymond James Stadium, Brady has now had game-winning touchdown passes with less than 10 seconds. Did it against the Rams way back when. If you remember, that was the last time they played at Raymond James. He had the touchdown pass, of course, to Cade Otton in Week 9. And then 3 seconds left last night, he finds Rachaad White to make it happen. You're never done with Brady. This is the latest in a game, with just 3 seconds left, he's ever scored a game-winning touchdown. In all his game-winning drives, he's never scored a touchdown to win the game with less time on the clock. He was marvelous when it mattered most. For 58 minutes, the Bucs looked rudderless. They looked like they weren't trying to necessarily be that playoff team. They were just kind of hemming and hawing and letting it go. And the Saints looked like they were doing everything they could in their power to win. With less than 2 minutes left to go, the Saints had one of the all-time collapses, both on offense and defense, in game management. Brady gets the win. Miraculous as always. There might be no player in the history of the sport I would rather have the ball. But what happened in New Orleans might also be the storyline this morning.
Yeah, without a doubt. You look at Brady and just the Bucs in general. They open that game up. They go 16 plays, 72 yards, kick a field goal. From that point on is 5 punts, an interception, a fumble. And we saw Brady as frustrated as he's been probably this season since slamming the surface on the sideline. He got over there and he's going off on his teammates. We see all the motions after. This was after a long throw where he missed, I think it was Mike Evans. He missed Julio on one. So early on in the game, you could just sense the frustration from the Bucs offense. And all of that was because how well that Saints defense was playing. They were shutting them down. They were getting after him. They were tight in coverage. And this was kind of the climax of it all. Brady on the sideline just going off.
Eli said on the Manning cast, he's yelling, "I am not happy."
Exactly, those words to a point.
Eli would know.
But when you have Tom Brady like that, you have to take advantage of it. And time after time, we watched the Saints offense last night. 3rd downs, coming up short, not being able to pick up the first, forcing themselves to have to kick a field goal, not putting touchdowns on the board. Miscues that you're talking about. Mark Ingram right here. 2nd down and 8. He's 1 yard away from the 1st down marker. And Mark Ingram, he's a veteran. He knows. After the game, he apologized for that play, knowing that he should have stayed in bounds and picked up the 1st down. But it's like a little too late. And they had these guys. And for the Saints, this was an opportunity to keep their playoff hopes alive, beating Tampa Bay, because that division is so weak. And then obviously we saw the Taysom Hill drop. So late in the game, they weren't able to make the plays on offense to put them away. And early in the game, as they had Tampa Bay Bucs struggling on offense, they couldn't capitalize by putting any in the end zone. We saw Olave drop one on 3rd down. Landry dropped one. It was time after time, just failed opportunities.
You're a great defensive player, which you were. Your team is stopping the Bucs over and over again. 3rd and 1. you pass the ball in a running situation, and then on 4th and 1, you punt the ball back. What's your reaction to the coach, and what's your reaction to the rest of the team? Like, what else can I do?
Oh, those guys are on the sideline. They're all sitting there like, what the? Because you're watching this, and you're going out there, and you're dominating. As the Saints have done Tom Brady since he got to Tampa. And it's just like, guys, come on. Pick up the first down. Run the clock out. Do something. And time after time, they just didn't do it. It's extremely, extremely frustrating as a defender.
It's got to be. What a weird season. I think for Tampa, it's ugly, slow, sluggish, putrid win.
Yeah.
And listen, I think this is a special case with Tampa against New Orleans. Survive and advance. Survive and advance. Guys, this was a terrible looking win. Who cares? The last 2 times that New Orleans has come to Raymond James, they have a 38-3 win and a 9-0 win. So, like, 3 points and 0 points. There's something that infects the Brady offense, that especially for some reason when they come to Florida. It's been terrible. So, then Brady's case, look, we got the win. Who cares? I have to throw to K. Dotton and Rashad White for some reason into the game. 17-16. We're 6-6. We've won 3 out of 4. Like, I look at the Saints games differently for Brady than any other game in the schedule. There is a special type of game. It's almost like how the Chiefs now are looking at the Bengals game. Like, we got to beat these guys. I don't care if it's 1-0 or 100-0. Get the win and just move the hell on. Tampa Bay is a very strange team. Very strange. We can't figure them out. They're a first-place team. Here's the deal. They're 6-6. Can you finish 3-2? If you do, you're getting a home playoff game. I really think 9-8 is going to win that division and go back to that same exact stadium where they definitely will not be playing the Saints. Ugly game, forgettable game, will never be remembered on the Brady demo reel. A win against the team that comes in and slaps them around. Survive and advance. That's all they need to do, Jamie.
Why does it have to be like this? Why does it have to take 58 minutes of, what did you call, Peter, rudderless football?
Yeah, no rudder.
No rudder. And
They're a pirate ship.
It feels like it's going to take 58 minutes of their season, 98% of it, before they have this figured out. And even if they do, Kyle, even if they host a home playoff game, this team still plays 0% convincingly to tell me that they are going to be some dominating January experience at home. The only time I feel like I was truly convinced, like, oh, here we go. Here comes the Tom Brady experience. Let's see Allianz Arena again, because it was a beautiful time in Munich, Germany.
And
frankly, it was a historic moment. And now in hindsight, I realize what Tom Brady did. He was like, I'm Tom Brady. I am the GOAT. I think he really embraces that. I'm going to rise to this occasion. I'm going to give the people what they want in Germany. The 78,000 people, 3 million people try to get tickets to see me play. I'm going to give the people what they want. In fact, I'm going to give them something so much so I'm going to line up at wide receiver twice. I'm going to fall down trying to catch a ball from Leonard Fournette. It was everything that you could have wanted in the Tom Brady experience that included a win in Munich, Germany. And I really thought that the Buccaneers beat the Seahawks, go on a bye, and there was this aha moment for the Buccaneers that they were going to come back and be a totally second half of the season team. And then it didn't happen. And now we're back on this Monday Night Football experience where, seriously, 16-3. And I was like, Tom Brady is the quarterback of this team? It's been mind-boggling. It's so frustrating how a team like that can just take a 2-minute offense and not apply it from like a mental fortitude standpoint, and have Brady just tell everybody, listen, just play your entire game like it's a 2-minute offense and we'll have this thing figured out. Because at this point, that is the only time the Buccaneers play well, was with some urgency.
We may see that. We may see some more no huddle, some hurry up, some Brady calling at the line.
It is like a great deodorant, though. It covers up what was a stink of a game.
Yeah.
Like when you come out, like they won, and then you see him hugging Leftwich. But if you didn't watch the first 58 minutes, it was wild how bad their offense was.
The 16-3, and you're like, I think maybe Sam Darnold might be playing a playoff game this year. Somebody has to win this thing. But he came back, snapped his fingers, and he won it. And they still got 6 weeks before the playoffs. Like, they still have time.
Just make it to the dance.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Punch that card, baby.
Punch it. All right. Tom Pelissero, he's going to join us now.
Yeah.
With the topic...